presidential debate. Once again, we'd like to ask you to please be respectful to your schoolmates, and I'm going to introduce you to the candidates. Deborah Amaya. Julian Ventura. And Karen Urquia.
Our first question. I would say that what distinguishes me from my opponents is that I'm able to communicate with different cliques in my class. For example, like I may talk to, I may have like a certain group of close friends, but I'm able to interact with other cliques in like certain ways. Like I know that I'm able to at least approach them and talk to them and let them know about certain activities that we are going to be holding.
Oh, what distinguishes me from the other opponents is that I'm very energetic and I can communicate well with other people, and I know how to basically spread the word out to everybody, and I'm very organized and hardworking, and I can manage a lot of stress.
What would distinguish me is that I'm not very shy. Like if something needs to be said, I will say it. I'm really sociable with like everyone, no matter what. I try hard to communicate and have good relationships with everyone. And I work really hard when I really want something.
So you guys talk about cliques and how you want to get everybody involved. So what are some activities that you guys think you would want to do, or to get your whole class involved and to kind of banish the cliques and make the class of one? What would you guys do?
General assemblies are really important to know what everyone wants, and as leader of your class, you want to make sure that you have everyone's interest, like when you're planning something, and it's really important to know what everyone wants. So you have to constantly be talking to everyone and make sure that everyone is on the same page and just working together to accomplish a goal.
I agree with Karen on having general assemblies. It really helps the student body be informed about everything that's going on with the class, because if they're not informed, then they wouldn't know anything that's going to happen throughout the whole school year.
I would agree with the General Assembly too, but other than General Assembly, because since that's only like one thing, we have different communication ways to communicate through social networks, text messaging, just maybe going around the hallway and actually interacting with people and letting them know this and that, basically.
Deborah, I noticed you mentioned cliques. Some students believe that the SGA has a disconnect with some, like, people are disconnected.
And the SGA is kind of a clique itself. So.
There's a disconnect between, like, with ESOL and CRI students, and even the underclassmen may feel like they're left out sometimes. How would you address this concern? Do you see it as a concern?
Well, speaking on 2015 behalf, I think we need to reach out to them more, but I think we've actually done a good job at actually trying to go to them and involve them in certain activities. Well, all activities that we try to do, we at least let them know. Especially, I mean, with the ESOL, I wouldn't really say that they're separate. It's more of TRI that we need to work on to include them in more of our activities. But ESOL-wise, I think most of our ESOL students are aware of what we do, and I think they actually come out, because I see people from ESOL who come out from our grade that come out to our events.
Do you think that there is a lack of school spirit? Do you think there's a lack of school spirit here at Parkdale? Do you think it's specific to any classes? Do you think, and how do you think you can bolster it?
Definitely. I think there's like a huge lack of school spirit, not only in our class, but in the school in general. But I think the problem is that we don't have things that interest everyone. Like we'll have things that interest maybe the more outgoing students or like a certain clique. We have to find things that would interest everyone, because like that's the main goal of SGS, like to make sure that everyone has a great time in high school and have good memories. So it's good to know what everyone likes and know what everyone wants, so that we know that we're reaching out to everyone and everyone's having a great time in high school.
I think that Parkdale does have a lack of school spirit, and it's better to like encourage students to have their school spirit because it's really supportive to the school and it allows students to interact with each other as a whole school and even as a whole class. So if students be involved with school spirit and things that they actually like, they'll actually get to cheer on for their school, their class, and they'll actually know how to interact with each other as a whole school.
School spirit, I think that every class is lacking school spirit, but mainly I think it's because we don't have enough of the actual student body coming to class meetings and events, and sometimes it's just the fact that some people don't feel that certain things that we do, like let's say SGA put something together, they don't feel like that it appeals to them, or they just automatically assume that, okay, it's going to be dry, I don't want to go to that. But we have to find more basically something that would interest more people than just one clique in a certain class. Or maybe the way you said that some people feel that there's an SGA clique, maybe they feel that, oh, this is what SGA wants. Maybe I think that we would be really successful in bringing out school spirit if we do things based off of surveys, really. I think that would help.
So, in this up and coming year, when you're running for president, so next year you're going to be preparing for senior year fundraisers and stuff like that. So, what do you think your biggest challenge as president is going to be, and if so, why, and how are you going to fix it?
Getting approvals from Ms. Logan could probably be the hardest because all classes are going to want to, all classes are going to have their own ideas for fundraising, and all classes are going to compete. But it's our job as like presidents to be sure that we have like the best ideas and we have everything ready when it's time to present to Ms. Logan, and to be sure that we are kind of on her good side so that she can approve all these things so that we can have fundraisers. So.
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, okay, so what do you think your biggest challenge as president is going to be, and how are you going to solve it?
I would say the biggest challenge would be making sure that we get out to, like, let's say 90% of the class. I know that we do, our class has, we usually let our class know things, but we need to try more, and especially with the CRI students, like, if we are able to interact with each other and let each other know that, okay, these are so-and-so that are in our class, like, we know who's in our class, especially for the CRI students and the ESOL students, like, if we can pinpoint them and we are able to go up to them and talk to them, then that would be better. So that's basically what I see as.
Maybe they don't want to be pinpointed. Maybe they
Well,
just want to feel as
not pinpointed, but as in, like, if we go up to them and actually interact with them and not just say, oh, the school's having this, you should come out to this, like, just be like, oh, we want you to be a part of the class, we want you to support our class, well, the class, and come out to events, basically.
with like.
Yeah, well, I feel like our class sponsor, Miss Gunn, I think she does a really good job at being connected with the class and everything, but it's like she's stationed in the annex, and so now we have most of our classes in the older building, so it's like harder for certain students to get in contact with her. But I still think she does a really good job, and I feel like the rest of the staff does a really good job with our class, at least.
So, not only in regards to having contact with your sponsor, but how are you going to have contact with your whole class? Like, what are the means that you're going to take to, like, get everybody involved and get the word out there? What are things you like?
General assemblies would be really important, you know, the texting, the social media, even like flyers in the school explaining like what's going to go on, when, who to contact for more information.
Do you think the location of your class board has any effect on how the information is getting spread?
With the class board, I wouldn't say that it has an effect because honestly, we don't use it. I mean, I think if we actually do use it, then it could make a bit more of a difference, but the fact that we don't use it, maybe that's why we lack. But in the specific area that it is now, I don't think it would make much of a difference, which is why I think that we don't put much on it, basically.
Sure. So do you think the location of the class board has an effect on how your class is getting the information out?
I mean, the class board as a general, I think they do, reach out to like the whole entire school as a whole, but if each class is involved more, it would be better.
Alright, so we know that nobody's perfect, but we'd like to know what you guys think are like your faults. What do you think you need to work on the most?
I can get angry pretty fast, but I've been learning to manage it so I've been learning to control myself much better. So I know that being class president, you know, you'll have certain like problems and that'll probably get you angry, but I've been like finding ways to help myself control my anger and not like express it, or not release it so much on others that don't really deserve it.
So in other classes, there's been a lot of tension within their, I guess, little cliques or vice president, secretary and stuff. So how do you think you're going to control your anger in order to communicate clearly with them and get the message across?
Well,